137.5077 degrees. That's it, that's the whole secret. It sounds like a throwaway number, but scientists have measured it in the spiral of a sunflower seed head, in the spacing of leaves climbing a stem, in the tight geometric bumps of a Romanesco cauliflower, and in spiral galaxies 100,000 light years across. One angle, almost the same decimal places, every single time in things that have never once come into contact with each other, before you assume this is just a rough coincidence, the kind of thing where humans see patterns. Because we want to see patterns, understand that this angle is accurate to a level of precision that engineers would be proud of. It isn't 137 degrees. It isn't even 137.5. It's 137.5077. That kind of precision is not decoration. It's an instruction, engineered into how a plant grows, one cell at a time. A measurable, repeatable geometric constant, confirmed in laboratories for more than 3 decades. And by the end of this video, you'll see why that exact same instruction, that exact same number, turns up somewhere that has absolutely nothing to do with plants. Something in the sky. Start with something you can check yourself. The next time you're near a flower bed, count the petals. Lilies 3, buttercups 5, delphiniums 8, marigolds 13, asters 21, daisies 34. These aren't random totals. They belong to a specific sequence called the Fibonacci sequence, where each number is simply built by adding the 2 numbers before it. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and on. Petal counts land on these numbers far more often than random chance would ever allow. Now zoom into the seed head of a sunflower, and the pattern gets sharper. In 1979, mathematician Helmut Vogel published a formula showing that sunflower seeds aren't just scattered, they're placed one after another. Each new seed rotated exactly 137.5077 degrees from the one before it. Here's why that specific angle, and only that angle, works. It comes from the golden ratio, a number close to 1.618, and it happens to be the single hardest number in existence to approximate with a simple fraction. Any other angle, even 1 degree off in either direction, would eventually cause new seeds to line up directly behind old ones. This one angle never repeats. It guarantees that every single seed claims a gap no seed has claimed before, packing the maximum number of seeds into the smallest possible space permanently. That is the entire trick behind how a single seed head holds thousands of seeds without ever wasting a single gap. That one angle placing one seed at a time is remarkable enough on its own, but it doesn't stop there. It starts copying itself over and over at every size, down to the smallest bump on the entire plant. Look closely at a Romanesco cauliflower, and you'll see something that looks almost computer-generated. Spiraling cone-shaped bumps, and inside each one, smaller spiraling bumps, built the exact same way as the whole head. That's called a fractal, a shape made of smaller copies of itself, repeating inward layer after layer. In 2021, a team of plant scientists led by Eugenio Azpeitia showed exactly how this forms. It happens when the plant's normal flower building instructions get interrupted mid-sequence, so the growth tip keeps trying to build a flower, fails, and tries again at a smaller scale, repeating that same golden angle spiral down through layer after layer, dozens of times over until the bumps are too small to see without a lens. That word instructions is not a metaphor here. In 1968, biologist Aristide Lindenmayer wrote plant growth out as an actual formal rule set. It's a short string of symbols that, followed step by step, generates a branching or spiraling structure identical to what you'd find on a real plant. Feed those same few rules into a computer today and it draws a tree. Let a real seedling grow, and it builds the same shape using living cells instead of pixels. The plant is not approximating a pattern. It is executing a small, precise program, one cell division at a time. This exact rule, the one building every spiral on every plant on Earth, does not stay confined to biology. Researchers found a way to produce it inside a laboratory with no plant, no seed, and no living cell involved at all. In 1992, physicists Stéphane Douady and Yves Coudet ran an experiment that had nothing to do with botany at all. They released magnetized droplets of ferrofluid, one at a time, onto a rotating dish sitting inside a magnetic field, letting each new droplet repel the one before it. No DNA, no cells, no biology whatsoever, and the droplets arranged themselves entirely on their own into the exact same spiral pattern at the exact same 137.5-degree angle that you'd find inside a sunflower. That means this is not a biological quirk. It is the mathematically optimal solution physics finds whenever something new has to be added, one at a time, into the smallest possible space, whether that something is a seed, a leaf, or a magnetized drop of liquid. And once you know to look for that shape, it stops staying small. Spiral galaxies, including our own, hold their arm structure through what astronomers call a density wave, a slow-moving pressure pattern, first mathematically modeled in 1964 by Chia-Chiao Lin and Frank Shou, tracing the same logarithmic spiral geometry as a sunflower seed head, just scaled up by trillions of miles. A shape small enough to sit in your palm, that light itself needs 100,000 years to cross it. Drop back down to Earth, and hurricanes curl their rain bands into that identical spiral shape too. A pattern meteorologist, Hugh Willoughby, explained mathematically back in 1978. Different forces entirely, gravity, wind, magnetism, cell growth, arriving at the identical geometric answer. So here's the something in the sky we promised at the start. The same 137.5077-degree rule. Steering a single seed into place inside a sunflower is the same shape astronomers use to map the arms of galaxies 100,000 light-years wide. Zoom from a single seed, past a cauliflower, past a hurricane, out to a spiral galaxy, and the underlying math never changes. That is not coincidence repeating itself by accident, over and over at every scale of existence. That is one instruction, precisely engineered and followed exactly by a flower petal, a cauliflower, a hurricane, and a galaxy. If a single flower can carry a mathematical signature this exact, it's worth asking what else in the world you've been walking past without ever noticing. Subscribe if you want to keep finding out. There's a lot more hidden in plain sight.